Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to Promotech. Thanks for tuning in. The Pixel 11 Pro looks familiar on the surface, but underneath, Google is quietly fixing the exact things that held Pixels back for years. And those changes don't just improve this phone, they reshape what the Pixel lineup could become over the next few generations in ways most people won't notice at first. Let's dive right into the video, because the first thing that stands out isn't the camera or the design, it's something almost nobody talks about until it breaks the modem. For years, Pixels have struggled side by side against something like a Galaxy flagship in weak signal areas, dropping bars faster, heating up quicker, and draining battery harder. Now with the shift away from Samsung modems to MediaTek's M90, this isn't just a spec swap, it's Google admitting where they were losing. And if this holds up, it means your Pixel 11 Pro might finally match, or even beat, those competitors in real-world connectivity, not just lab tests. That also explains why battery gains are being emphasized this year without massively increasing battery size. And that leads into something subtle, but even more important, the Tensor G6 strategy. On paper, yes, it's moving toward a 2 nanometers process, but Google still isn't chasing raw benchmark dominance like others. If you compare it side by side with previous Tensor chips, the real shift here is consistency. Less throttling, smoother AI tasks, and better sustained performance. That tells you Google isn't trying to win speed tests anymore. They're trying to eliminate the Pixel feels great until it doesn't problem. And honestly, that's a smarter long-term play, especially if you're someone who actually uses AI features daily instead of just opening apps. Now here's where things get interesting, because the camera story this year isn't just about better sensors. It's about changing what a camera even does. Ultra-low light video at 5 to 10 lux sounds like a spec. But in reality, it's Google pushing computational photography into video in a way we haven't fully seen yet. And when you compare that to traditional video pipelines on other phones, this is less about capturing reality and more about reconstructing it. That same idea shows up again with the rumored 100x AI zoom. Normally, that's marketing fluff, but Google's approach suggests it's blending optical data with generative AI, meaning the final image might not just be enhanced, it might be partially created. And right there is the uncomfortable truth. With features like generative video editing inside Google Photos, removing objects, changing scenes, even altering backgrounds, the Pixel 11 Pro isn't just a camera upgrade, it's a content creation tool. That's great for creators, but it also raises questions about authenticity. When your phone can rewrite reality in real time, what is captured on camera even mean anymore? Quick pause though, because this actually connects perfectly to something a lot of you deal with daily. If you're creating, uploading, or even just browsing on public networks, your data is constantly exposed. That's where something like Wallverse comes in. It's not just about privacy, it's about control. You connect once, and suddenly your connection feels like it's actually yours again, whether you're traveling, streaming, or just avoiding those sketchy cafe Wi-Fi risks. It's one of those tools that quietly fixes a problem you didn't realize was affecting everything. Coming back to the Pixel 11 Pro, the design leak almost feels boring at first glance. Same identity, similar size, slightly refined camera bar. But that's intentional. When you compare it to how aggressively other brands redesign year after year, Google is locking in recognition. They're saying this is what a Pixel looks like, and then investing everything into what happens inside. The slightly taller but less protruding camera bar also hints at internal rearrangement, possibly for larger sensors or better thermal distribution, which again ties back to that consistency focus we talked about earlier. And then there's the under-display infrared camera making a return. On the surface, it sounds like a small feature, but when you compare it to standard face unlock systems, this could bring back secure facial recognition without sacrificing screen design. That's a direct response to users who want both convenience and security without compromises, something Pixels have struggled to balance before. Now when you step back and connect all of this, better modem, more efficient tensor, AI-driven cameras, subtle but intentional design, it starts to feel like Google is no longer experimenting. They're stabilizing. They're fixing weaknesses instead of just adding features. And historically, that's the moment when a product line stops being interesting and starts becoming dominant. Before we go further, quick note for the community. Over 70% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. And if you're into breaking down tech beyond just specs, this is exactly where you want to be. It's not about hype, it's about understanding what these changes actually mean long term. Because the real question now isn't whether the Pixel 11 Pro will be good, It's whether this is the first Pixel that finally removes all the little excuses people had for not switching. And if that happens, what does the Pixel 12 look like when Google no longer has weaknesses to fix? Take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.